Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our annual week of Thunder Over Louisville annual traffic and safety briefing. I'm joined here today by friends from the Kentucky Derby Festival and first responders that are here in our Emergency Operations Center, which will be open this Saturday in support of the 35th annual Thunder Over Louisville. As everyone knows, Thunder is the opening ceremony for the Kentucky Derby Festival events. And it is the best air show in our country, and it is the best and biggest fireworks display in our country every year. And this year, the drones are returning with one of the largest public drone show in the United States. Last year, they were absolutely amazing, and I'm sure, Matt, that this year you've got even more special things in store. And we are delighted to welcome hundreds of thousands of people to our great city for this amazing, family-friendly, fun, safe, unique event on a day where the weather looks like it's getting better each hour that goes by, so fingers crossed. This wonderful event would not be possible without the hard work of so many people and so many agencies. Today, you'll be hearing about the importance of planning ahead for this large event, knowing what to bring, what not to bring on Thunder Day, what our public safety plans are, which is our absolute top priority, ensuring that everyone who participates in Thunder, who comes to downtown Louisville, has a safe time first and foremost. That is our priority. We'll tell you about our traffic plans, road closures and parking areas, TARC routes and fare-free services to get people downtown and then back home again as quickly and safely as possible, river operations and river traffic and what's going on with respect to the Ohio River, and how you can stay up to date on Thunder Day with emergency notifications. And finally, some information on what to do in the unlikely event that there is an emergency. Before I turn it over to Matt Gibson, I want to say giant thanks to Matt and his entire team at the Kentucky Derby Festival and every volunteer associated with the Kentucky Derby Festival that come together not just in these couple of weeks before the Derby to wear their amazing bright jackets, but that work every day of the year to make these great community events happen. There is truly something for everyone. The Kentucky Derby Festival is unlike anything else in our country, with so many, I think it's upwards of 80 events over a few-week period that are open for everyone to participate in, and there truly is something for everyone, for families to enjoy, to help us get ready for the 150th running of the Kentucky Derby. So Matt, thank you all so much to everyone. I'm so excited to see you and your entire team on Saturday for what will certainly be an amazing and historic 35th Thunder Over Louisville. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Gibson.
Thank you, everybody, for being here, and happy Thunder Week. I swear it feels like a holiday is here, and you could feel the energy out there in the community. I'd like to reiterate Mayor Greenberg's sentiments that it can't be done without so many people leaning in, and it's a lot of the folks in this room, many entities and agencies that aren't in the room today, but a huge shout out to each and every one of them. The mayor has been a great partner. He's been seen in the jacket as well before, which is fantastic, and we appreciate that. That's good, fantastic. But you really do know that it's that time of year when you start to see the air show preparations, the Thunder build, and all of those things that happen on the waterfront. Like any year, since it is an outdoor event in spring in Kentucky, we are prepared for just about everything. And one of the top things that we want to remind the public is to bring their patience and common sense as it relates to going to those outdoor events. Know before you go when you attend these events, and you can log on to our website at kdf.org, where we will partner with Louisville Metro Police, MetroSafe, for all of the linked information that people might need to know about the venue, the traffic plans, and those so that people can be prepared before they get to the venue. What you'll see this week already happening, and we are slightly ahead of schedule, knowing that there is some weather moving in today and potentially tomorrow. Tomorrow and potentially Thursday, is a lot of the setup, the things that are building the city within the city. The crowd estimates on great weather days can be very large and are actually pretty respectable on bad weather days as well, when there could be rain, overcast, etc. So the Thunder faithful and fanatics will show up regardless. So setup is moving along quite well. There is some real estate that is lost to the Ohio River. You know, that's something that we contend with every single year. Our partners will work to remove debris when appropriate as the water recedes, and we are watching that go down to fall much lower in its banks as the week goes by. We work very closely with our on-water safety partners like the U.S. Coast Guard, Louisville Metro Police, and the like, and we will continue to monitor the situation or the status of the Ohio as we continue to go. So we encourage folks to figure out where you want to go. There really is something on the venue for everyone. We've got the Myers Family Fun Zone down by the Big Four Bridge, very family coordinated, lots of things for people to do, lots of engaging activities. The same thing on the South Great Lawn, lots of interactive things for people to see, much larger crowds as you see near the Great Lawn, South Great Lawn, Witherspoon Street, and the like. But there really is a lot to experience all over the venue. At 4th and River, we've got a small midway, but really just look on the website to see what is there. And we really encourage folks to have a great time as well. As you know, because downtown, what we're turning into one of the largest open-air mass gathering spaces is really built for downtown traffic and the like. So the patience comes into play when it comes time to leave the event. Again, as Mayor Greenberg said, that the weather continues to improve as we look each day, and it really is favorable for what we're looking to do with wind speeds and the like. So it could have sizable crowds, and people's patience is key. The traffic plan has been tried and true after 35 years, and it keeps working better and better each year. And Lmpd will be sharing that stuff a little bit later. As the day is programmed, we really turn the venue on at 11 o'clock in the morning, and that's when all of the interactive things, the food vendors, the experiences all turn on at 11, but you'll see the air show start exactly at 3. Then it stays very, very intense and full all the way till 9 o'clock, and we start some of the nighttime air show pieces, and then it moves right into the drones piece. As the mayor said, we have over 400 drones this year, so you'll see that's an increase over last, and we do have some exciting things. It will be firing or launching from the west side of the venue again, and looking at the weather conditions and wind conditions that we have, it should be a much higher show than it was last year just because of those wind conditions. And then, right as we run into 9:30, then the most intense 30 minutes of fireworks that you've ever seen, and we always tell people you will understand the day after. We've got a brand new designer, as you've heard Wayne talk about a lot. Patrick is a worldwide renowned designer, and this has been one of his target shows his entire career, and we are going to be blown away by what he has to share. When he told us that he will show us a grand finale like we've never seen before, we said, well, we'll believe you 1 minute after the show, and what we've seen, at least in the digital version of it, it is going to be extraordinary. So again, we encourage people to come out this weekend, have a great time, enjoy the show, and it's my pleasure to introduce Major Jill Bates with Lmpd.
Good afternoon, and thank you for helping us share this important information with the community. I'm Major Jill Bates, Special Operations Commander for the Louisville Metro Police Department. Lmpd has spent months planning a thorough and comprehensive plan to respond quickly and effectively during thunder over Louisville and the surrounding areas. We utilize every available tool to ensure a safe environment for everyone attending, including technology to monitor and keep the event safe and fun for all families. You will see a strong police presence, not only from Lmpd, but with our local law enforcement partners. I would like to thank our special events team, as well as KDF and all our federal, state, and local partners who pull together each year to make this event a success. We cannot do this without everyone's help. We need the public's help to assist making this an extraordinary and safe event. If you see something, say something. Officers will be present and visible. If you see something suspicious, do not hesitate to report it by alerting an officer. If it is an emergency and you don't see an officer, call 911. If you see something that is not an emergency but needs to be reported, call area code 502-574-711 or the anonymous tip line at 502-574-LMPD. We need everyone as vigilant as possible. We are expecting thousands of crowds, so please expect delays. As a retired lieutenant once used to say, pack your patience. Be patient with officers, be patient with each other when you're walking through the crowds or when you're trying to get home safely. Be patient. Thank you all. I would like to introduce Lieutenant Craig Browning with the Lmpd Traffic Unit to discuss the traffic plans.
Good afternoon. Lieutenant Browning, Louisville Metro Police Traffic Unit. Just wanted to brief everybody. The big question everybody has is getting to and coming from Thunder. There are going to be some changes that are going to affect patrons, police officers, citizens alike, whether you're attending Thunder festivities or not. Starting off on Thunder Eve, approximately 8:30 p.m., the interstate system around Louisville will be rerouted. 65 North will be diverted onto 264. 65 South, once you're south of the Watterson Expressway, will be diverted onto Gene Snyder. 64 East, coming from the west end, will be diverted onto 264. 64 West, running westbound in the east end of the county, will be diverted also onto 264. Same thing goes for 71 South. That's going to add minutes to your commute. As Major Bates said, pack your patience. We're going to route you around the congested area if you're traveling on the interstates. The off-ramps into downtown will also be closing around this time, and they will remain closed until we reopen them after the conclusion of the event. If you work in the downtown area, if you're a contractor, if you own a shop, store, business in downtown, you plan on being open on Saturday, make sure you arrive with plenty of time before that 8:30 p.m. cutoff so that you can be in position to operate your business. For those that are coming in that are unfamiliar with the area, recommend taking photos of where you parked your vehicle, street signs, addresses, buildings. That way you can find your way out in the evening. Speaking of leaving, as we're exiting the event, surface streets are set up north, south, east, and west. Some streets that have been converted to two-way will be converted back to one-way just for the purposes of expediting traffic flow. If you are getting pushed in a direction you do not wish to go to the next intersection. When you are able to make a turn, you will be able to get to your cardinal direction that you're trying to travel home through. Please, and I can't stress this enough, be patient with the officers. Lmpd, the mayor's office, EMA, Matt Gibson, KDF put in long hours to try to plan this, make it an enjoyable experience for everybody. When you are leaving, if you have questions, feel free to ask. You may not be able to go out the most direct way that you think to take you to where you're trying to go, but we will get you out of there in the quickest, most expedient manner possible. If you have a medical emergency while you are leaving the area, please call 911. We have emergency express routes set up to make sure that we can get across from the hospital district to Roy Wilkins, that we can get from north of Main Street to south of Broadway should the need arise. Remember, there's going to be pedestrians. If you're operating a vehicle, please keep an eye out for pedestrians, children especially, known to dart out on the roadways. Adults will do the same. I'm not sure if the bird scooters are running this weekend or not.
They'll go all the way up to the event perimeter and then shut down in the event.
Okay, there'll be geofenced for the bird scooters, but as you get further away from the event, please keep an eye out on them, okay? Pedestrians, remind you, you need to cross at designated locations. As Major Bates also said, if you see something that's questionable, whether it's security related or traffic related, say something. Everybody does their part. Everybody gets to come and enjoy one of the greatest events the city holds on a yearly basis. Everybody gets to go home safely. I will remind people, if you are attending, please, if you consume any alcohol, designate a driver, get somebody to drive you home. Little soapbox, last Thunder, we had a fatal collision unrelated to Thunder events out at Newburgh Road at Shepherdsville Road. I would really like to go this year without having to make a scene like that. So please, be responsible if you're drinking alcohol and having a good time down here in the downtown business district. Major? Matt?
Okay.
Mr. Mayor? Okay. Mr. Stevens, Chief Operating Officer of TARC.
Appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Okay. Hello, my name's Rob Stevens. I'm Chief Operating Officer for TARC. Glad to be here today. We're pleased to play an important role, as we have every year, in helping tens of thousands of people in and out of the downtown area for this event. One of the most important things about this event, it will continue to be fare-free. Thank you to our sponsors, Humana. for this event. It covers all of the service on that day of the 20th, that's Saturday. The operations department at TARC has been very quickly putting together plans to make sure that this event goes without a hitch, that it goes off successfully. They've done that in two ways. By number one, boosting the service by adding 68 additional vehicles in service that day to make sure our presence is bolstered in the area, and anticipating the increased ridership, make sure you get where you need to go. The second thing that we're doing is making sure that we have 5 locations, pre-announced boarding locations for post-event to make sure you get in and out, or you get out of the event from downtown safely. So we're doing those two things, boosting service and setting up those locations. Post-event, we recommend, as you've heard before from the previous speakers, to plan ahead, make sure that you get everything that you need to understand how to get in and out safely and enjoy the day. You can get this information in more detail about where the stops are on the website. So if you get to tarc.org, you can see that. One important note for folks crossing the bridge, there are bridge closures. So if you're riding the 71, 72, 73, or 74 that are across the bridges, there will be bridge closures. So after 8 p.m., there will be no more service for those folks wanting to enter or leave Indiana back and forth across the bridge. So please note that. And finally, we want to thank everyone for choosing TARC for this event and for all other events and the Derby Festival as well. Lastly, just a footnote, if you are a rider and you're using the MyTARC card, you won't be able to use that card to load that day. So just have fun and be safe. Thank you. We have up next.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm BM1 Haley Lombardi. I'm the officer in charge at Coast Guard Station Louisville. Here to talk to you a little bit about on-water safety. We've talked a lot about the non-water side. So getting into the water side, we are going to have a restricted safety zone set up starting at the Big 4 Bridge. And it's going to cover about 10 miles heading upbound on the river. No vessel traffic will be able to pass through that during that time. It will be announced on Channel 16 as well on VHF. If you need anything, hail out to the Coast Guard on Channel 16 VHF. We will be able to respond. With that, there will be an anchorage for vessels available starting on the Indiana side next to the Big 4 Bridge out to the center. If you are past that center, we will come over and just let you know to push back. We will have a picket line of volunteer vessels set up, so that way if anybody is teetering on that line, we'll make sure to get you back. Some things to keep in mind for recreational boaters this weekend is the river stage is fairly high right now. It's anticipated to go down, however, with the upcoming pending weather that's coming in, if it does bring a decent amount of rain, that river stage may not go down as much as we would like it to go down. We plan on hopefully still being able to be out on that water, but recreational boating traffic, we would just like to caution boaters significantly with launching and recovering and anchoring. The river stage currently is just under 21 feet, which is basically almost at the action stage. And then the flood stage starts at 23 feet. So we're kind of teetering on that line. It's supposed to drop down to 16 feet by Saturday, but that's not including the rain that we're supposed to get in the next 2 days. So please just keep an eye on that if you do plan on launching a recreational boat, and we will be making announcements on Channel 16. Our auxiliary will be doing volunteer safety checks before you launch at Cox Park and Duffy's Landing. So if anybody is interested in getting one of those safety checks done, please be there early. Also, in regards to what everybody else said about traffic, please make sure that you abide by traffic patterns while getting to and from these local boat ramps. We anticipate a lot of boat traffic, as we have seen in the years past, regardless of the river stage. We think that there'll still be a decent amount of recreational boating. So please just be safe, trailer safely. If you need any help at all, like I said, Coast Guard can be reached on Channel 16. And be safe and enjoy Thunder.
Hello, Jody Myman, Executive Director here for Louisville Metro Emergency Services and Emergency Management. So we continue to work, obviously, with our local, state, and federal partners. You are in the Emergency Operations Center now, so it will be fully activated on Saturday. It's not just a Kentucky event. We also work with our partners over in Indiana as well. And I feel like Matt and I are joined at the hip, you know, for these couple weeks, either by phone or literally, with everything that goes on as well. Be prepared. Prepare yourself now. Prepare your families now. We always tell people to sign up for Lens Alert. That's our Louisville Emergency Notification System. You can go to louisvilleky.gov or go to our website, If you want to receive information and potential emergencies specific to Thunder, we also have an opt-in. You can text Thunder to 67283. We do that every year, and we'll be sending out emergency notifications if need be to that during the event. Just a couple other safety tips. The sun will be out, we hope, so wear sunscreen. Even though it might be a little bit cooler, the sun could still affect you. Stay hydrated. It goes with some of the messaging that was mentioned earlier, as well as if you're drinking alcohol. EMS teams will be stationed on site. We'll have foot teams, bike teams, and our new UTV teams, which is just another element of our response during special events like this. First aid tents will be manned by U of L Health, which is the official healthcare provider for Thunder over Louisville. And with that, I'll introduce Jeremy Thomas with U of L Health.
So I'm Jeremy Thomas, representing the event medicine team for the emergency department for U of L Health. We will have 5 tents set up along the waterfront to provide first aid care. We will have emergency trained nurses at each facility, as well as multiple volunteers to take care of primarily minor wounds, first aid issues. We'll have access to EMS as well, and we will have 2 board-trained emergency physicians available in the area moving about throughout the day in case there are more serious issues. EMS will be available to transport patients to the hospital as needed. Things that the community can do to try to avoid using these tents. It's going to be a long day. There's going to be a lot of walking. Make sure you choose your footwear wisely. The ground is not going to be level and it may be slick. Sunscreen, obviously. It's going to be a long day out there, and even if it's overcast, you can get burned. Stay hydrated as well, and it's going to be loud with all the fireworks and the air show, so consider ear protection, especially for the young ones out there. But like I said, we'll have 5 tents set up along the waterfront there for whatever we can do to support the community in this. Thank you.
Well, thank you all very much for providing that incredibly important information. Before we go to questions for any of our folks that are with us here today, I just want to also suggest that everyone who's enjoying Thunder on Saturday, if you see a colleague of one of these folks who spoke today who's wearing a uniform, whether they're LMPD, whether they're EMS, whether they're from another first responder unit, whether they're part of the Kentucky Derby Festival, whether they work for TARC or the Coast Guard, please thank them for their effort. They are working long, hard days as well so that you and your family and our entire region can enjoy this amazing event. And so just a final thanks to everyone for what they've done to help get Thunder ready. And I hope the entire community joins me in thanking all of these folks to make Thunder such a unique and special event for our community year after year after year. And with that, we are all happy to take any questions that you all might have.
This question for Mr. Gibson, based on your experience, can you give us any sort of thoughts about what kind of crowd you're expecting?
That one's always a hard one, and as you know, Amy watches me on that one. But I would say with the anticipation of improving weather, that people are at home preparing to be there for the show. It's often hard to make that guesstimate of what a crowd looks like, but normally the biggest effect is not necessarily when it's 100%, but that threat of weather. What it looks like is that it's clearing, so I would say that we'll have a good-sized crowd that starts to show up early in the day. Even though the venue turns on at about 11, we anticipate them being there much earlier in the day.
Matt, did the crash in the repairs on the 2nd Street Bridge affect the planning or set up the fireworks?
We were in contact. I think Mayor Greenberg called me pretty early on Saturday, the day after Louisville Fire and Rescue did their great work, and then Kentucky Transportation Cabinet has kept us in the loop. We were already in the paperwork stages because knowing that bridge is of its age and is in great shape, we are great stewards of it as well, so we stay in contact with them. But they kept us in the loop from the beginning, so we knew it would be in function pretty early on in the discussions. What's that? Just tell them no impact. Yeah, no impact.
There's a lot going on in the world, especially the Middle East. Have you guys identified any threats or planned protests directed at this event?
So we have our Homeland Security unit as well as our federal partners that are monitoring for any type of credible threats. At this time, there are no credible threats. We continue to monitor up to and throughout the event just to make sure We do have our specialty teams that are on hand should any type of disturbance arise.
Indiana is having their thunder presser tomorrow. Is there anyone from here going to be over there? Are you guys working with them?
Indiana. We work very, sorry, Major. We do work very closely with them, and sorry, I could see you right back there. And we'll either have someone there, but they have all of the same information as well. We work very close, like Jody said. It really is the two-state coordinated operation. Depends on how you want to go home.
Depends on, do you value a shorter walk when you arrive or a shorter walk when you leave? Obviously, the closer you get to the center of the downtown business district, the more congested it's going to be both with people and vehicles. The closer you are to the middle of that, you may be the first one in, you're possibly going to be one of the last ones out. So it's a trade-off, you know, for people that need the extra assistance, need the extra time, can't necessarily walk all those blocks in one without needing to sit down and take a break, take a breather, and relax. Like we've said, pack your patience, come early, stay late. There's always the newscasts every year of the 5 or 6 people that decide to stay until the wee hours of the morning. They probably don't have any problems getting out. But for everybody that wants to turn and head south away from the river as soon as the fireworks end, the closer you are down towards the waterfront, the longer you can expect for you to get out. And we're going to get you out as quickly and efficiently as we can, but managing that number of people and vehicles in the same confined space is a task every year.
About how many hours does it take for that all clear to come out? You know?
Sounds like a question for you.
It does. The obviously, as we've worked to refine over the, it's the 35th year. This is my 26th year. It has improved year after year after year, and we've not seen anything longer than 1 hour and 40 to 2 hours being it, and that's the extraordinary side. With the way that people park in the side of town that they want to go to. If you live in the east, park towards the east. If you want to go south, park towards the south portion or right. And if you live in the west and want to go to the west, that's the best way. But all routes get you home. We've never not returned anybody. So it's only the extraordinary and extraordinary size crowds would take longer.
Matt, sell this event to people who look at it and say, same thing every year. I've been there, I've done that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same fireworks show, same air show.
That is always the challenge we give ourselves year after year, and you've spent some time with Wayne. And when I stepped into the role in 2019, we sat down with our great partner, Zambelli, with that same challenge, which is why you've seen different designers than you've seen over the last 30 years. Ralph Pacadillo was with us up until last year. Phenomenal designer, showed us something that we didn't know was possible with fireworks from different countries. We focused a lot on Spanish. And Patrick, our designer this year, is a master at finales and really coordinating something that looks very magical. Then you add 400 drones, which is significantly larger than it's been in the past. Great new element, and we get a lot of great feedback. And then the air show year after year provides a whole lot of entertainment. And then if you look at the venue itself, it's evolved every year over the years with where we move different things, all of the different experiences, so there really is something that looks different each and every year.
Paul, that's like saying the Derby is just a horse race every year. This horses running the same distance around the same track. I mean, this is thunder over Louisville. This is the fireworks, the air show in the entire country. And I've been coming for decades with my family, and every year it is absolutely amazing to just experience it, not just to see it, but to feel thunder over Louisville. It truly is a full body experience, and even if you've been before, you should come back because, as Matt was saying, this one's going to be more exciting than ever. Come out, meet some new people, enjoy a beautiful day in downtown Louisville. Thank you all so much. We look forward to seeing you in downtown Louisville on Saturday. Be safe, and please, if you see something, say something. Thanks a lot.